What's up guys, it's WoofWoofWolffe, and no, I'm not a furry. Due to popular demand and my love for the clones, Clone of the Week is returning for Season 3. Cue the intro. Welcome back to Clone of the Week, the show that explores our favorite growth-accelerated child soldiers, and also just straight-up children. Your Clone of the Week is Captain Howzer.
Brothers, what are we doing? We came here to free Ryloth from Separatist control, and we succeeded. But look around you. We're now being ordered to target the very people we swore to protect, and I will not be a part of it any longer.
Howzer was like other clones, born on the rainy planet of Kamino, and later in the war was deployed to the Outer Rim planet of Ryloth to assist the Twi'leks in the liberation of their homeworld from a separatist occupation. This conflict lasted the entire length of the Clone Wars, as we've seen various Republic campaigns fight to liberate the planet multiple times. People just can't leave those Twi'leks alone, eh? Even the clones like their fair share. No, but seriously, they're arguably the most enslaved species, and for some reason have French accents?
The Imperial refinery is off limits, Hera. You know that.
I never said we were at the refinery.
Anyways, a very important point to note is that the Republic joined forces with General Cham Syndulla and his freedom fighters, under the condition that the Republic would withdraw from the planet after its liberation.
The people have my promise that the clone army will leave once Ryloth is free of those droids.
It is unknown if Captain Howzer served with the Jedi General, but he did become close friends with General Cham Syndulla, who unfortunately does not have a lightsaber, but he could change that by visiting Onasaber.com. Onasaber has a wide collection of high-quality, realistic lightsabers that are strong enough to duel. Even my lightsaber is getting excited. Onasaber is actually having a 30% off lightsabers deal for the month of October, and 10 people will win a free customized lightsaber display stand. To enter, all you need to do is buy any lightsaber, follow Onasaber on Instagram, and DM your order number. I'll leave a link to their site in the description below. Shout out again to Onasaber for sponsoring today's video. Now back on topic to the chaos that is the Clone Wars. In 19 BBY, the Clone Wars had ended, with the Republic being reorganized into the first Empire. Howzer, who was still deployed on tour in the Outer Rim, didn't get a chance to rekit his armor for a blank white set, but did retain his rank of captain, now as a stormtrooper officer in the new Imperial Army. Instead of leaving Ryloth as the Republic had promised, the Empire established its very own Dunium refinery on the planet. Dunium, for all the non-Star Wars geeks in the back, is a heavy metal that is mainly used for capital starship construction. Many Twi'leks weren't very ecstatic about the Empire's continued military presence on the planet, especially Syndulla's trusted lieutenant Gobi. In the capital city of Lasu, Captain Howzer was present at a speech delivered by Cham Syndulla and Orn Free Taa, the gluttonous, self-interested Twi'lek politician who loves his KFC. Howzer could tell something was wrong and asked Syndulla if he was okay, to which Cham replied that he was worried that his people would not embrace peace. Howzer in response assured him that Ryloth was safe and that this is what they fought for, and the two joined the speech. Orn Free Taa urged the Twi'leks to lay down their arms and allow the Empire's clones to protect Ryloth. The crowd protested, and Syndulla stepped forwards, expressing his trust for the clones who had helped them during the Clone Wars, gesturing for Howzer to join him, which led most of the crowd to applaud and cheer. Around the same time, Hera Syndulla and her droid chopper were found in a restricted area, near the Imperial refinery, by some very confused clones. Captain Howzer and his men escorted Hera back to her father, where Howzer pulled Cham aside to let him know that he was in a tough spot, and promised not to report the violation, but said that it couldn't happen again, to which Cham said that it would not, and thanked the clone captain. Later, Admiral Rampart had Commander Crosshair and his elite squad of incompetent walk-ons to investigate Gobi's operations. The squad intercepted Gobi, Hera, and the Twi'lek Saren when they returned to Ryloth with purchased weapons. Captain Howzer, along with Rampart and Orn Free Taa, made their way to Crosshair's position with BARC speeder escorts in a turbo tank, those awesome juggernauts we saw in Kashyyyk. When they arrived, Admiral Rampart sought to punish Hera, but Howzer objected, stating that she was only a child. The senator declared that the girl was also an insurgent and ordered them all taken away. Howzer hesitated before escorting them into the Juggernaut. The transport was moving through Sector 3 of Ryloth's western outskirts when Chom, Eleni, and Twi'lek reinforcements arrived. Chom attacked the speeder bike clone escorts, and Howzer was notified through his comlink. Our blue big boy knew that Chom was behind it all and ordered the clones to fight back, and Captain Howzer hesitated before complying. Howzer listened over his comlink as the speeder escort was slowly wiped out until his comms were jammed by the Twi'lek Lank, who hijacked the transport's cockpit, bringing the transport to a halt. Howzer then put on his helmet and the power was cut. He raised his DC-17 blaster pistol in defense, but Rampart told him to stand down, and they watched as Chom and Eleni broke into the compartment. The Twi'leks held Howzer, Ta, Rampart, and the other clones captive, while Chom and Ta accused each other of treason. Chom raised his blaster at Ta, and Howzer told Chom to think about what he was doing before Eleni talked him out of killing the senator. Rampart then thanked Ta before signaling to Crosshair, who shot him in the head. At the same time, several LAAT gunships arrived, forcing Hera and Chopper to flee in a land speeder. The LAAT deployed additional troops alongside Crosshair's squad, who arrested the Twi'leks, as Ta, who by the way somehow survived the headshot, was carried away. Howzer was handed a DC-15A by Rampart, who ordered him to find Hera. Later, Howzer returned to the Capitol building when efforts to find the girl proved unsuccessful, and he visited Chom and Eleni's prison cell with Rampart. The Admiral and the prisoners had a short sissy fight before Howzer gave a puppy dog look at his old friends before walking away. Admiral Rampart ordered Captain Howzer to arrest Syndulla supporters across the planet, though Howzer objected, stating that the people he was going to arrest were not insurgents. Rampart stated that they supported one, bringing up the attack on the Juggernaut and the shooting of Orn Free Ta. Howzer argued that Ta had not been shot by the Twi'leks, but when Rampart asked who he thought had fired, Howzer said he had no idea. Rampart reminded him of his new orders, and Howzer volunteered to find Hera himself, but Rampart denied his proposal, explaining that another squad was looking for her. Later, a crowd of Twi'leks gathered for a public speech at the Capitol building, where Howzer joined Rampart in updating the crowd on the assassination attempt on Orn Free Ta by Chom Syndulla and their allies. Following the speech, Howzer suggested that only some of Syndulla's allies should be arrested, with the concern that the action could incite rebellion. Rampart countered, suggesting that more would be apprehended to thwart an uprising. They walked into the Admiral's office, where Crosshair reported that the Bad Batch were on Ryloth. The Admiral and Crosshair debated over Clone Force 99's capabilities until Rampart suggested that Crosshair's squad continue looking for Hera, otherwise he would put Howzer on the hunt. After Crosshair left, Howzer secretly turned to the Syndulla's prison cell. Chom accused Howzer of siding against him and the people of Ryloth, but the captain brought up Chom's attack on the turbo tank. Eleni said that they had to protect Hera, which Captain Howzer claimed he wanted as well, asking where she was and promising to help her. Chom, unsurprisingly, didn't trust Howzer and turned him down. Soon, the Imperial refinery was attacked by Hera and the Bad Batch. Howzer hurried into Rampart's office to alert him of the situation, and the Admiral ordered Howzer to stay and guard Lasu. Imperial troops left the Capitol building's landing area, but Crosshair stopped his elite squad from leaving, suspecting that the Capitol was the true target. Howzer, from a balcony, observed their shuttle and that Crosshair set up a trap in front of the main exit. Howzer went down and intercepted Chom and his allies, who had been rescued by 2 Bad Batch commandos. Howzer warned them that they were walking into a trap and condemned the Empire's actions on Ryloth. The clone captain added that all of the Capitol's exits were blocked, and Eleni suggested that the group steal Big Blue Boy's shuttle from his private tower hangars. Howzer apologized to Chom for not standing up to the Empire sooner, and the general promised to return to Ryloth as their fight for its freedom was not yet over. Eleni mentioned that Howzer's betrayal would be discovered. However, Howzer wished not to abandon his squad, for they were good men. Howzer walked out into Crosshair's trap and spoke out against the Empire's occupation of Ryloth, asking his clone brethren to stand with him as he tossed his blaster carbine to the ground. 6 other clones were persuaded to join him, dropping their blasters and shields. Crosshair then proceeded to order their arrests for treason from his elite squad and the clones who didn't side with Howzer. Upon being handcuffed, Howzer watched as Chom and the others escaped with the Bad Batch on Orn Free Ta's shuttle. Then, the clone was brought into the Capitol building. One can only assume what happens to Captain Howzer and his defiant brothers. We've seen slick, Dogma, and Boba Fett be taken into Republic custody before, albeit in different circumstances. Howzer was taken in for treason against a newly founded galactic empire. Perhaps they made an example of him, just as Crosshair did with ES-01. I also like to imagine Captain Howzer is who Captain Keeley would have become had he survived past Order 66 and not had his chip activated, assuming Ima Gunday perished, with Keeley not being reassigned another Jedi General. Both clone captains cared deeply for the Twi'leks, Cham Syndulla, and the liberation of their home planet, Ryloth. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, so glad to be back. Don't forget to drop a comment below and stay tuned for the next Clone of the Week. This is WoofWoofWolffe signing off, and as always, woof woof.